Hey, what's up? My name is James Nicholson. I'm with the Smart Move Group of Keller Williams Realty Center here in Columbia, Maryland, near Fort Meade and Andrews Air Force Base. I wanted to address a couple VA home buyer issues. These are some common misconceptions of using your VA loan. I was in the Army for 10 years. In that time as a medic, I also did real estate, and I constantly heard the same things over and over and over again. And I wanted to address those issues, and there are many of them, but these are three that came up a lot. The first one is, I don't need an inspection because the VA does an inspection. If a realtor is telling you that, you need to find a new realtor because they don't understand the VA. The VA has required inspections, which the three main ones are pest inspection. The second one is a well inspection, and the third one is a septic inspection. All homes need a pest inspection, but if they don't have a well and septic, you don't need those inspections. And normally you're paying for those. It used to be the seller had to pay for them, but in some states they're actually changing the requirement because buyers are picking the most expensive pest inspection, and now sellers have no say over it, and then they're having to pay this expensive inspection, which is unnecessary. There's $50 inspections, $75 inspections. They're just as good as the $200 ones. The big issue here is that the appraiser does minimum property standard appraisals. So what that looks like is structural, safety, or sanitary issues. The appraiser's not going in the house and checking every plug. He's not in your crawl space. Usually what the appraiser is going to do is he's going to visually look at things. Like if there's 3 steps at a certain height and width and there's no railing, they're going to require they put a railing there. If there's mold, like visible, noticeable mold, he may say, this needs to be addressed. Another issue like if the roof is off the house, clearly there's no roof. It doesn't work. So he's going to require that they put a roof on it. I've had inspections where appraisers, there's holes in the siding, and then they require that the seller fix those holes because water was getting in. So this is like a structural issue. But I've also had appraisers where they've gone to a house and there's holes in the siding and they do nothing about it. So it's not really a structural mechanical inspection that you pay for. It's just a minimum property standard, and it's really visual. So you're not going to get the high quality inspection like you would get from a mechanical structural inspection that you pay for. So just understand that the VA is not doing an inspection. They are just doing minimum property standards, and they require you to get inspections, but they don't require you to get a structural mechanical inspection. That's up to you, and it really depends on the market you're in and the house. Every house is different. The second one is anyone that's ever served, they can use the VA loan. If you're National Guard or reserves, there's actually different requirements, because it's a different level of service in a way. And what I mean by that is, if you're active duty, you're there all the time, right? And so they usually get their VA loan. I think it's like 6 months. You have to talk to your lender about that. And they change these requirements all the time. So from the time you're making this video, it could change. But the last time I heard National Guard, you had to be in the Guard or the reserves for 6 years, meaning 6 years of 1 week in a month and 2 weeks out of the year. And all those dates add up to a VA eligibility. Now, if you're National Guard or your reserves, I got to use it after 1 year. Well, you may have gotten deployed. You may have gotten activated. Under the pandemic, they changed the rules to if you're 1 month of service, active Guard reserve or activated or activation equals 1 year. So if you get activated for 6 months, then you get 6 years. So then you can use it. That's another thing too. You need 6 months of active time. So what is 6 months of active time? Some people say, I went to schooling for 6 months. That doesn't count. You got to be 6 months active duty or 6 month activated. So there are different requirements. You should be able to get that information from a good lender. Will be able to pull your certificate of eligibility and let you know if you can use it or not. There are also good loans. They're not all VA. I mean, people will say, I like the VA because there's no what's the word? there's no mortgage insurance. The VA is your mortgage insurance. When you pay that VA funding fee, that like whatever that fee is, and it's different from consecutive use. It could be anywhere from like 2.25% to 3%, but whatever that VA funding fee, let's say it's $10,000. That $10,000 in terms of mortgage is like $60 a month over the life of the loan. So that's, you're paying mortgage insurance. It's just not labeled it. So that's what the VA insures, like other loans, but up to 20%. The third one is the VA is a zero down loan. It is not a zero down loan. The VA is a zero down payment loan. Let me explain that. VA buyers think they just go to a home, they want to buy it, they don't have to pay any money. You still have to pay closing costs, transfer fees, recordation taxes, things that they put into escrow, title fees. It's not a completely zero down loan. Now, there are some really cool programs out there that I'm a part of, my lender's a part of, where they'll give you $5,000 to $15,000 towards your down payment, and then or towards your closing costs, and then you have no down payment, or you can get seller help. Those things can kind of lower your costs. When I moved into my house, now it's not fair. I'm a realtor, so I got a commission, but I ended up getting like $4,000 back after closing. Now, my brother's not a realtor. He bought a house down in Georgia, and I got him in touch with a realtor. And instead of getting my my referral fee, I said, hey, just give it to him. And he paid zero down on the down payment side, but his closing costs were paid by the seller. And then I gave him my referral fee, which was like $3,000. So he actually made out. So it really depends on your situation. But just understand the VA does not do inspections. You should get a structural mechanical inspection. Not everyone can use the VA loan. Another person I didn't say earlier is if you get dishonorably discharged, you may not be eligible for the VA loan. And then the third one is it's not a zero down loan. Save some money. You need to pay for those inspections. You need to pay for the appraiser sometimes. And then you have to pay the closing costs if you can't get it from the seller. It depends on the market. So I hope this is helpful, not just to military buyers, but also other realtors who don't understand the VA loan. It's actually a really great loan. It's very clean and to the point. There is some red tape that if there's other realtors watching this, their head might explode. Oh, I hate VA loans because I had a bad situation. Well, if you know the red tape and you know the way around the red tape, the VA loan does have a ton of options and tools to deal with issues during the process. So my name is James. I'm here in Columbia, Maryland. I specialize in VA buyers and sellers. I'm a military relocation professional. I know everything about Maryland that helps my VA buyers and sellers out. So I hope this is helpful to everyone, and I hope you have a great day.